Other variation of question can be now. So instead of a single array, they can ask you 3 pointers. So I'm just extending this question. Okay, so the same array, right? Same array. I can take the same array. Take the example of this one. 3 elements I have to pick from this. Suppose the 3 elements are A and B and C, and I have to tell whether it is equal to K. So basically, you have been given an array, and in that array, you have to figure out there are 3 points A, B, and the C. Okay, and you tell me whether it is equal to K or not. How will you proceed in this question? I've solved the previous question. Take the hint from that, and can you tell me how do we solve this question? You can first tell me the brute force approach. That is really fine. The first thing that is that we should be able to solve this question, and then we should optimize it.
Hello, Vishnu.
Yeah, Paritosh, go ahead.
Yeah, suppose if we sort this array and we take the midpoint of an array and then we do the left and right approach, and by using the midpoint and the left and the right, if we find the sum of three and if we conclude whether it's we are getting that value or not.
Okay, so you are saying that you sorted. Okay, so I sorted. So after sorting, it becomes equal. Suppose I'm looking for a sum equals to 257. I'm looking for a sum k equals to 15. Suppose, okay, and then I have sorted it first. So 1, 2, 5, 7, 8, 9. It's already sorted.
So ninth is the maximum element we have. So that would give an advantage to us. And then we need to find a midpoint.
Okay, so suppose here the midpoint will be, how many elements? The 6 elements, and if 6 divided by 2 becomes 3, so the third element will be the minimum. So mid is 7. Mid is 7. First element is 1, and the last is 9. Okay, and I found the sum equals to 17. Sum equals to 17, but I was looking for 15. What should I do now? Cool. So before solving this question, I just told you this answer. Did you guys try to analyze this? Did you guys try to analyze this question number 1? So before moving to this, let's come back to this again, and that is why I wanted to impress on this, that whenever you guys look for any solution, try to analyze it a little, try to understand that why we are doing. When I said that I'm using a 2-pointer approach, and in the 2-pointer, the first one is at the 0 and the second one is at the array dot length, and I write a loop like this while I is less than equal to j. Okay, and inside this, based on some condition 1, I do I plus plus. In condition 2, I do j minus 1. Okay. What is the advantage that we get by using the 2-pointer, one at the start, one at the end? Can you tell me what is the advantage that we're getting here and why we're doing it like this? So based on one condition, I'm increasing the I, and another condition, I'm decrementing the j. Can you tell me when I'm incrementing I and when I will increment I and when I will decrement j, and how this helps?
Based on the value of sum you get. Like if that value is higher,
if the value is less, we will increment I. If the value is greater, we will decrement j.
Perfect. So what it also infers is that if you try to imply more meaning out of it, what we have done is that on the left hand part is the smallest element. So in the left, I is denoting the smallest element, and the j is denoting the largest element, right? The j is denoting the largest element, right? So when I put one pointer on the left and when I put one pointer on the right, now it gives me a flexibility that I can, move in the both the direction. What are the direction? I can move in a direction where I can increase the value, and I can also move in the direction where I can decrease the value, right? So if I keep on moving the left pointer to the right, it means that I'm increasing the value till the max. I can move till the max value possible. What will the max value possible? The two elements will be the last and the second last, right? And what will the minimum value possible? The minimum value possible is the first and the second element itself, right? So when I keep a 2-pointer, one at the starting and one at the end, this gives me a flexibility that I can also move in the direction of the smallest possible sum, and I can also move in the direction of the largest possible sum. So what I mean to say is, so if I have this array, okay, and I have this element 1, I have this element 2, and I have this element n minus 1, and I have this element n minus n, right? And if it is a sorted array, the maximum value possible is sum of these two elements, and the minimum value possible is the minimum sum possible is sum of these two elements, and the maximum sum possible is sum of these two elements, right? So the combination of all the possible sums will be lying somewhere between the sum of this, right? All the combination of sum will be somewhere lying between 1 plus 2 till 2n, right? This is the, in this particular scenario, this is the possible variation of sum possible, right? So if I keep a pointer at I equals to 0, right, and I keep a pointer at I equals to n minus 1, which is the last, right? So I have a flexibility to moving both in both the direction. If I have a pointer first and the last one, if I move right pointer to the extreme left, I will get the smallest possible sum possible. And I move the left pointer to the extreme right, I'll get the maximum possible sum. So with this, putting the two pointers at the two end, I can get all the combination of sum possible. And that is why I say that when I have to figure it out if the sum exists or not, if I do like this, I can definitely in all the cases will be able to figure it out whether that sum is possible or not, right? So this is why we use two pointer approach. Now here instead of the two, I have three. So before optimizing it, first of all, try thinking how will you solve brute force way. Can you tell me how can you solve this question brute force way?
Sir, we simply use 3 loops here.
We simply use three loops here. Very nice. So what we can do is for loop for I, okay, and I will start from 0 till j value will start from, and then another for inside that, and for that the k will start from,
J plus 1,
and the array dot length.
length minus 3.
Why length minus 3? It should go till n, right? I have first, so in the outer loop I have fixed the position of I equal to 0. The second loop I have set the value of j as 1. So 0 and 1 are
Yes,
fixed.
yes.
So the k will go till the last position, right? So now if here you do array I plus array j.
Then sir, I should go to array dot length minus 3.
No, so basically you don't have to write this condition. Yes, you can write that, but anyway here you will do a check, right? While j is less than array dot length. So anyway it will not go inside the for loop because in that case it will exceed that condition, right? Here you write this condition, right? So when the array value is equal to say the second last element or the last element, then this condition will anyway not satisfy, so it will anyway not go inside that. Okay, and if this equals to k, then you return the answer. But the time complexity of this is O1 cube. Can you guys think something little smart and solve this question? Any thoughts? Any thought? How do we solve it? Just try to think. I'm giving you guys a hint. Just try to think how we do in a two-pointer approach, and just try to think how we solve this using a brute force. This question using a brute force, where we have used the three loops. Can we try to combine these two and try to make the best out, and try to bring up a solution which has the best thing of both the solutions? I'll give you one more pattern. So in the previous question, if you do it a brute force, it was like two for loop, right? But if you went for a two-pointer approach, you were able to do it you did a sorting and then you were able to do use in a single loop itself, right? Similarly, here brute force is taking three loops, right? So can you think of on a similar lines that if I use a sorting and a two-pointer approach here, can I bring down the complexity? So let me do one thing. Let me ping this file and I'll give you the edit permission. Why don't you guys try your hands yourself once? Ashutosh, we have to find three elements in this case. You're only looking for the two elements, right?
Yeah. After this, I will write another loop which will extend from I plus 1 to an element less than j.
Okay. Now this code that you're writing, it will be after the if and else. Where this code will belong to? This code, that last line that you're writing, this one for end. So this is a part. This is the outer inside the, like, where are you writing inside this? After this if and else are not satisfied.
I will sum the values of indexes at the I and j and pass.
That is fine. So initially you have written this loop. In this you find the sum equals to 0. Uh, inside this, if this if condition is true, what will you do in that case? If array I plus array that length minus 1 minus I,
The third loop would be inside both the if and the else condition.
the third loop will be so both inside the if and else condition. So whether it's if or else, it doesn't matter. You will still go with this loop. If that is the case, then what is the point of if else statement? You're trying to understand what I'm trying to say? Say that is, if something which runs irrespective of the conditionals, what is the point of putting the conditionals? So I think you are moving almost in the right direction. Can you think in a little upside down? I think you should be able to solve it. I think you're almost there.
Vishwa, what if we use one for loop and then I use a while loop in that for loop, and if I is equal to 0, then the left would be I plus 1, and then if I take the sum and depending upon that, if I increment decrement left and right, then in that case all values are matching and none of the values are missing also. So hence we can get a sum on that.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Perfect. So what Paritosh is saying is that I'll take a control of Sutosh now. Okay. What we can do is, suppose I have an array like 5, 1, 3, 9, 8, and then 2. Okay, suppose like this. The very first step that I need to do is sort it. Okay. So when I do a sorting, it will take n log n time. Minimum it will take log n and log n time. Okay. So once I do the sorting, it will become 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, and 9. Okay. Now what you do is that you first fix one position. So suppose I have fixed 1. Okay. So 1 is fixed now. Okay. Which is the first element. Okay. And now suppose I'm looking for a sum, say 14 is the sum that I'm looking for. That I'm looking for a sum equals to 14. If the three elements together sum is equal to 14 or not. Okay. So now I have fixed one position, that is 1. This is 1, and then I'm left with this smaller array. Okay. When I fixed 1, then I'm left with this array 2, 3, 5, 8, 9. Okay. And now basically I have already fixed 1. So now in this array I'm looking for a sum equals to how much? Sum equals to 13, right? So since I've already fixed 1, and if I get sum 13 in this array, then I can figure it out, the sum is total 14. Do you guys agree? Is it clear? If I fix one element 1 and excluding 1, if I can get 13 in this remaining array, I can get a sum of 14 total. Can I say this?
Yeah.
And now this problem, so basically it consists of this 1 plus this. So basically this problem is what? This problem is the previous problem that we have solved, right? A two-pointer approach problem. So what we have done is that we have tried to break this problem into our previous problem. So what we do, we fix just one element, and now we are only left with the two element, and we have to only look for the sum equals to 13. So now this is a two-pointer problem that we solved in the previous two-pointer problem, right? So this is how we do it, logically. Now let me quickly write the pseudo code for this. So what we can do is that we can simply first sort it, right, using the merge sort. So it gets sorted. Now I write a single loop for int I equals to 0. I is less than array dot length, and that will be equals to array dot length minus, say, 3 I plus plus. Okay. And here what I do, and left I do as I plus 1, okay, and int j equals to array dot length minus 1, okay, and then I write a while loop here, while I is less than j, okay. Well, I less than j, because now here I cannot equal to I less than equal to j, because I and j has to be two different numbers, right? Because I'm looking for the three different numbers. So I put I while I is less than j, and then what I do, if array I plus array j plus array k is equal to the given sum. If it is true, you just return true, that yes, it exists, right? This value can be either greater than sum. So if it is greater than sum, in that case, what I need to do is that I need to reduce this value of the sum, right? So that it should become equal to sum. So in that case, I do k minus minus, k minus minus, else j plus plus. Make sense? So now what is the time complexity of this problem? N log n is of this one, and here there is an outer for loop which runs for the n time, and then there's an inner loop also which runs for approximately n times. So the total time complexity here is n square. Don't make a mistake on the time complexity, guys. We have done enough problems to make set it right. Only n into n. So by brute force way, the time complexity was n cube. If we do with this two pointer approach, the time complexity comes one bit earlier, and the time complexity will become equals to O of n square. O of n square.